ビデオメッセージじゃん。ガラ、何か喋れ。
Fucking right in the pussy!
Okay guys, we are finally continuing the series about the characters and their marriages from Naruto to Boruto. But with the encounter of Gaara's badass son in Boruto, it's finally time we release some critical information behind Gaara's love life and his mysterious adopted son. Gaara is the type of character we did not expect to have found love, right? Because however how emo he was and the way he developed, he's not that emotional and he doesn't express his feelings, and you know, who would wanna date this guy, right? It's difficult to find a character that would have dated him from the ones we knew. Anyways, he has a certain characteristic about him which makes him unapproachable to a woman. That's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully most of you will agree with that, right? Anyway, I digress. I kind of butchered everything here in this intro. So Gaara having someone he once loved intimately is a serious question. We all have on our minds, right? Who would Gaara love and marry? And why does he have an adopted son? Didn't he bust any nuts? What the hell is going on? So some say it could have been his student he was mentoring known as Mitsuri, or that Gaara was swaying another way and was truly in love with Naruto. I don't know.
Now a homie says to me, what kind of drill you want? So I said I wanted one right in the ass. What? I'm not gay. I'm not gay.
Jokes aside, regardless of Gaara's masculinity, it's about time we get this video rolling. Let's go balls deep into the love life of Gaara and explore his son Shinki. Cue the intro. Ever since the 4th Ninja War, it feels as if Kishimoto scattered all the key characters across the shinobi universe like the Infinity Stones. But let's discuss the 5th Kazekage. Throughout the Sunagakure, Gaara indeed holds the highest role, and he acquired it at such an early age, around 16 to 17 years old. But the concept of such a youthful character gaining the responsibility of protecting the whole Sand Village really impacted him. He was not only prevented experiencing life with his peers, but was taking on the duties left from his father. This environment he was surrounded by was mainly the reason of how he is today, being antisocial at times, yet having the amazement of life itself, you know, enjoying certain parts of it. For example, when he attended Naruto and Hinata's wedding, he was in such a great mood because of the switch of scenery. He must have been cooped up in his office at all times, similar to how Naruto is in Boruto. But let's take a couple of steps back as he was taking on that pressure in his early teen years.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Due to his past and surroundings, it would have been impossible for Gaara to find the time and courage for love. That's why we barely see him involved with girls throughout the Naruto series. It was only at one point where we had seen him take on an apprentice in Naruto Shippuden. His aura was disturbing because of his past, and it left most people around him intimidated. Besides, his mentee who was called Mitsuri, you know, she seems to be the only person that isn't intimidated and scared of this dude. Her history was like Gaara's, as her parents were killed in front of her eyes in part 1 of Naruto, which made her immune to killings and working with heavy weaponry. The initiative the producers took on in episode 216 of Naruto, where they had introduced her to Gaara whilst he took her on as a novice. If you hardcore Naruto fans can recall that, then that's pretty much amazing and you know your stuff. However, this back and forth idea of them becoming a couple was killed off after the 4th Great Ninja War, as if it wasn't revealed in either the manga or anime of her future, so we're not 100% sure if she had a thing with Gaara. Gaara's activities after the 4th Great Ninja War, Gaara focuses on rebuilding the shinobi kingdoms, giving him a much limited time to do what he wants, taking away all his free time. During the blank period, Gaara was included in various light novels such as the Kakashi, Shikamaru, Sakura, Konoha Hidens, all 4 of them. He was also known in his own Hiden, which reveals his true love story, which I'm going to talk about. Anyways, in most of the Hidens, he is there for plot development, taking upon the Kazekage responsibilities and dishing out orders, but he plays a vital role in becoming a wingman per se for Temari, helping her out by hooking Shikamaru and Temari up together. Check out our other love story videos if you want to, if you're not too sure about it, from Naruto to Boruto. Anyways, I know it sounds weird coming from Gaara, but we've seen how he is now, and it really does change people. Time can change someone, and him becoming a Kazekage changed him. Whilst Shikamaru is in danger and in a cliche situation, Gaara allows Temari and his men to save him as he accompanies them. Afterwards, he reads the atmosphere like a boss, and as a wingman, he does what he has to do, and he takes his leave with his men so Shikamaru and Temari can have their alone time and, you know, get it on, guys. Gaara is also seen in Naruto the Last expecting the moon to fall to the ground and protecting his village from oncoming meteors. That really sums up his activities after the war, being surrounded by event after event, which is stressful in my opinion, being Kazekage for so long. Now let's cover the Gaara Shinden. Gaara's mysterious Hiden that not much people bothered reading. Will be summarizing the Hiden for you, which will reveal some of the answers on his true love life. After the 4th Great Ninja War, the Sunagakure were left with a hefty bill due to the expense of coming out victorious in the war. The compensation costs for the families of the victims who were affected were non-stop, alongside the damage and the weapons costs on top of everything. This dilemma was a rising issue in the Sand Village, and to add on to that was a political matter behind the engagement of Temari and Shikamaru, which we discussed in that video, since they are from different villages, and then it will cause a problem in who will become the next Kazekage and whatever. It's just all political. You guys hate all that shit and I hate all that shit. Anyway, these problems had to be dealt with in careful consideration, and amidst the council meeting between Ibizu and Gaara, Ibizu had caught Gaara off guard and had asked him if he wanted to get married. Whilst the council were agreeing with this idea, Gaara was of course baffled because my man doesn't know how to interact with women. He's one of those guys, right? So in a Dumb and Dumber situation, Gaara funnily enough mentions that Kankuro is older than him and he still isn't married at all. And fam, we need this stuff to get animated because it would just be hilarious seeing this situation, right? But the argument was of course Gaara being the Kazekage and him needing a successor to take the throne to prevent Temari and Shikamaru's potential child, who is Shikadai, on succeeding and taking the role. Gaara is to meet his probable future wife, kinda like an arranged marriage, and he's at a formal gathering at the Land of Wind. And you know, there's various things that are going on, a chain of events, but yeah, he meets at the Land of Wind with a girl.
I love you, bitch. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
Temari helps him dress for the occasion, and Kankuro advises him of being sociable, which predominantly involves drinking alcohol. Gaara has little fondness for alcohol, he doesn't really like it, but nevertheless he's glad for the brief time he gets to spend with his brother and sister. Gaara then meets the woman set up by the Suna Council, and her name is Hakuto, as she is a part of the Hokage family. She's very beautiful, and all she had, and she just like, oh god damn, when you look at her you're like, shit, you just, you know. Gaara is embarrassed and blushed up when she sees her because she's that beautiful, right? But he refrains from showing these feelings. Gaara doesn't look at the woman intimately and he just gives it a chance. He's like that antisocial friend, and I don't know, man, he's just really shy and everything, and all that situation happens when he sees her. Although Gaara is the hotshot and having countless of admirers throughout the shinobi world that actually want to marry him, he doesn't know how to handle women romantically. He has no idea how to make conversation. Having forgotten all the etiquette lessons Temari gave him during the situation, and you know, it gets awkward as hell.
Oh, so she's gonna kiss this guy for the first time ever?
This time, because I've already had that first kiss out of the way. I think my strategy is just go for the kiss. Maybe I'll be able to like slip tongue. Can I kiss you?
So good. Wait, what? Wait, no! Wait! What the fuck?
To be fair, if you can't blame the guy, I like Gaara. After several minutes of silence between the two characters, Gaara attempts to channel his inner Naruto by asking her what her hobbies are, basically trying to start a conversation. And I know you guys have been there before in real life, we can all relate to this, right? So unusually, Gaara tells her that he has an admiration for raising cacti. Whilst Tamari watches in disgust with the conversation of how awkward it is, Hakuto is intrigued by his passion for cacti, and then she recalls that Gaara was once infamous for the name Gaara of the Sand Waterfall, with his previous antics in the past and, you know, killing people and being emo. But because this is her first encounter with Gaara, she is happy by the personality calling him kind, which got him really gassed up. If he threw a match at Gaara at this point of time, he would explode. This left Gaara so happy, and he was falling in love with this girl. After this happened, of course Kishimoto adds his cliche scenes here and there as an explosion goes off nearby during their conversation. Gaara's impulse is to protecting Hakuto, and it all happens in full swing. He goes into action. It was an ambush on the 5th Kazekage being confronted by two brothers with Kekkei Genkai, one being lava release and steel release. This plan was carried out by one of the council members as they favoured Kankuro more than Gaara to become the Kazekage. Kankuro was against all of this corrupt council member bullshit, believing that he was fit for the job. By causing this attack, the council member believed Gaara would step down from politics and begin his life with Hakuto, and with their intentions of getting married. And you know, he wanted to kill Gaara because it's just not possible. Gaara was too powerful for them. This whole situation takes a very dark turn because Gaara was about to become a victim of adultery and he was about to be assassinated. As Hakuto's intention was to get married to Gaara, whilst she also had a side piece, her true lover was one of the attackers trying to kill Gaara, so she already had a boyfriend. Gaara is unfazed by this and had no clear intention of marrying her anyway, so he is going to die alone, I guess. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I have crippling depression.
So let's talk about Shinki. Shinki in Boruto, how does this happen? How does Gaara get an adopted son? Shinki has made his appearance in Boruto and we know he looks cool. I like his character, I like his design, I like the way he is portrayed in the episodes. Shinki's origins are unknown, however what we do understand is that he was an orphan prior to his meeting with Gaara. Due to the matter of Gaara needing a successor, he decided to adopt a child. Shinki has a unfamiliar characteristic with pride. You know, he puts pride first before protecting people. That's his flaw. His character design is badass. Kishimoto really did an excellent job with this one, giving him a fully blacked out cape that looks really cool animated in the Boruto series, and those face markings really suit him too. For me, it's the ideal character design for how he is portrayed in the show. We see Shinki as a calm and collected character that is very dignified and believes he will not tarnish the Kazekage name, but he does know his limits, being very obedient enough, and he listens to Gaara all the time, and he avoids fighting Momoshiki and Kinshiki when he was told to. Kankuro has an adoptive uncle, passed on his training to Shinki, being able to manipulate several intimidating dolls, whilst also being able to use magnet release, the Kekkei Genkai, wind release and earth release. So that explains why he is able to catch his team members from falling into the pit. Because of his mature behavior, even Kankuro is afraid to anger this dude. Technically, Shinki is a stranger to the family, but Gaara had taken him on to succeed his values. Anyways, we see him in action during the Chunin exams, defeating Chocho with ease and taking on Metal Lee with zero hesitation. He's pretty overpowered. Alright guys, that's pretty much end of the video. You learned everything that you need to know about Gaara and Shinki so far in Boruto in episode 50 and blah blah blah. That was my intention with the memes and the jokes. I hope I made you laugh too with my editing and everything else.